One of the biggest fears for loan signing agents is not knowing the loan documents. I remember feeling the same exact way. But the good news is, if you learn these 5 loan documents, you will feel much more confident at the signing table. Let's go through them together. So, feeling overwhelmed is normal, okay? It is normal to go through loan documents. You're a new loan signing agent. Even if you go through it with the course, I understand. I was there. Believe me, I know. So what I did is I went through the loan documents before my appointment. I studied them as much as I could, just to give a brief description of what they are signing, okay? Another thing is, you are not expected to explain legal documents. This is what put me as a loan signing agent at ease. I learned this from the course that I took, and it specifically stated we are not lawyers as loan signing agents, okay? So we're not required by law or even paid to explain these loan documents to the T, okay? We are required to know what we're talking about and give a brief loan, a brief description of what they're signing, okay? So our role is to guide the borrowers through the package. That's basically what a loan signing agent does. Number 1 is we verify their identification to make sure they're not committing fraud. All right. And number 2, once we do that, we walk them through the package, the loan documents, making sure that they sign their names correctly, that they're dating their names correctly, basically walking them through the package. All right. And yes, we are required to give a brief description, I repeat, of what they are signing, but we are not required to explain anything. Okay. So what I learned as a loan signing agent from the beginning is, when I go into the appointment, I introduce myself, once we're sitting down or at the door. Hi, my name is Valerie. I'm your loan signing agent, Notary Public. I am here. I let them know up front. I am here. My job as your notary, loan signing agent, is to verify your identification and to give you a brief description of what you are signing. I'm here to point the direction as, the ALTA, numbers, etc. Walk them through what they're signing, but I'm not there to explain anything. That is a lawyer's job, and I am not a lawyer. And by law, I am not allowed to even get into detail as to any legal lawyer jargon, because we can get sued, okay? So that is the first thing I let them know at the table before starting. And I do let them know also, if they have any detailed questions, as to the numbers, as to why is this loan this amount? Why is this interest rate this? Why are they only giving me this amount, or etc.? I'm giving you guys examples. In situations like that, you contact the loan officer. If they don't have communication with the loan officer, to which is rare, because they should have someone that's helping them directly before you even get there, then you would have to contact the signing service or the title company that hired you and let them know what's going on, and that the signers, need help or have further questions that you cannot answer. Okay. So that gave me ease, and that's my intro. Before every single signing, I tell them, I'm here to walk you through and make sure you sign and date your documents correctly. I'm here to give you a brief description of what you're signing, but I'm not a lawyer. Okay. So that should put you at ease too, that you do not have to break every single thing down. All right. What else? So confidence comes with repetition. That's true. So the more you do these documents, the more you do them on a daily basis. I would say it took me about a good less than a dozen. I kind of already knew, what they were. And now, guys, we have AI. Like, we have it super easy. All you would have to do, to be honest, like, this is what I would do if I was starting now. I would take a picture of the documents and ask ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever AI it is that you're using, give me a brief description of what this says. And it'll type it, it'll give it to you. You get a sticky pad, a sticky note, and you put it on each page. If it makes you feel better, I'm just giving you ideas, and you practice. You go through the pages and you learn. That's all you have to give them, is a brief description of what they're signing. A lot of times they do recommend that we read it. We read everything so we can have knowledge and understand what they are signing. But the easy way, what I would do if I were starting today from scratch, I would take a picture of it and ask Chat to give me a brief description. That's just me. Okay, I'm just giving you guys a little tip there. We have AI now, like, take advantage of it. It's here, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, what else? So let's talk about document number 1. This is called the CD, abbreviated, also known as the closing disclosure. Okay, so this document is what breaks down the loan terms and the closing costs, basically all the numbers. Okay, and it shows the cash to close and the monthly payment. It's gonna have, if they have escrow, which is homeowners insurance and taxes included on top of their mortgage, their monthly payment. It's going to have the total cost of the whole transaction of them buying a house, getting a second mortgage, doing a HELOC, or refinancing. Okay, it's going to have that whole number. It's going to have if they're going to receive money or they're just paying off some debts, they're just lowering their interest. Everything financially is going to be on the closing disclosure. Okay, the more you look at it, the more you see it every day, you're going to be familiar with this document and you're going to get better at it. So don't worry. All right. And this one's pretty easy to me because you just point. This is your loan amount. This is your interest rate. Basically, everything that the page says in the closing disclosure, you're pointing at it, saying it out loud. Basically, you're reading it. And that's it. And what I tell them once I go through everything, do these numbers look good to you? Like, basically asking, is this what they promised you? They say yes or no. It looks good. Perfect. Sign here. And there's an issue. They need to fix some numbers. And then you would just have to leave. And that is that. It's very rare that it happens, but it does happen. Okay. The next document is, what is the next one? Promissory note. So, all right. So the promissory note basically is the borrower's promise to pay. Simple, easy. It basically has their loan amount, their interest rate, and their first date of when they're supposed to make their first payment. And then it also has if the lender gives them 10 to 15 days grace period to make a payment. That's all that is. It's 3 pages. Okay. So what that contains, the promissory note, the interest rate, the loan amount, the payment amount, and the length of the loan. So those are all the things that the promissory note is going to have. So the simple presentation is this document outlines the terms of your loan and your promise to pay. That's all it is. Okay. You're going to see the note on a buyer, a refinance, seller, second mortgage, home equity line of credit, a HELOC. Okay, now we're in number 3, the third one. So the deed of trust or mortgage. What it is, basically, it secures the property as collateral. That's what the deed of trust is. Okay, so this document secures the property for the lender. In other terms, however you say it, once the loan is paid off, then you receive the title for the property. Once it's paid off. But till then, the lender has possession of it, and it secures the property as collateral. Okay. All right. So that is that. Oh, and sorry, I'm jumping around. So number 4, that was document number 3, the deed of trust. Super easy and simple. The right to cancel. So this is for refinances only. Basically, the lender gives the borrower 3 days. They have a right to cancel. This is called, they have a 3-day rescission calendar days. It gives them 3 days to cancel if for whatever reason they're not happy with the numbers, and they're sitting through it after they sign. I want to cancel this whole transaction. I want to see if I could find a better deal, or I just don't want to do it at all. Okay. So those are their rights. Okay. So typically with this one, they have 3 business days, and then we will review the cancellation date and the number of copies. All right. So how many copies you will find in the notice of right to cancel? I have seen 3 and 4. Okay. So what I do is I always leave 1 copy with the signers, a blank copy for them to keep for their records, just in case they want to cancel. And then the other 2 or the other 3, they sign at the bottom, basically just acknowledging that they know their right to cancel. Okay. And it's usually at the bottom. All right. So this form explains your 3-day right to cancel, and it shows the deadline if you choose to exercise that right. Okay, so that one is easy. They like that one. Occupancy affidavit. So the occupancy, this is number 5. This is the last one. So what it is, it confirms that the property will be occupied by the borrower. Okay, so this will come out in buyer and refinance for the most part. Okay, so usually there's like different boxes, and it just basically states, okay, are you going to be using this home as your primary residence, as an investment property, etc. Okay, and either or one will be checked off. All right. And simple presentation is this affidavit confirms your intent to occupy the property. Okay. Also, so don't do these things, guys. All right. Remember, just going back to what I had told you guys, and we do not interpret documents. That's not our job. All right. So that should put a lot of you at ease, because we don't carry that burden. Like I said, we are not lawyers. We're just there basically to verify their IDs, walk them through the paperwork, make sure they sign and date correctly. And that's pretty much it. It's the easiest job in this world. Sign here, date here, this is that, and you get paid $150 for that. That's it. All right. So things to remember: you are not the lender. We are not the bank. You know what I get a lot of times, guys, that makes me laugh so hard? When I'm calling to confirm the appointment, or they call me, whatever, vice versa, you will be receiving your money however you choose to receive it. Usually there's a document for them to fill out, whether they want to pick up their check, do they want it mailed overnight, or they want direct deposit wired into their bank account, to which I always advise doing that, because in my opinion is the safest and quickest way for them to receive their money, if they are receiving any money. But yeah, they will ask you if you have their money, and you will respond, no, I do not. I'm sorry. I am not the bank or the lender, whatever. Oh, a caveat to that. However, we do not carry checks, and we do not pay them money that is owed to them, but we do collect. Okay. So that is one thing that we do. If they have to pay the title company any money for the transaction that they're doing, we do collect the checks. For whatever reason, we don't collect cash, we collect checks. Usually, do not quote me on this, there are special instructions that will say, collect this check, they owe this amount, whatever. A lot of times they do not, guys. You have to be responsible to read in the closing disclosure if they are to pay anything. You ask them, did you wire this? Did you ask them how they made that payment? And then usually they'll tell you, oh, I have a check for you, because they have to pay something for the transaction. Okay. they owe something or whatever. So then that's when you collect the check and make sure that you do not lose that check. You know, I used to staple them, but I don't do that anymore. Now I clip them because I have to scan it. So you have to scan it as proof that you did mail, you know, send in UPS that check along with the documents. Okay, so again, where was I? Yeah, we don't give them checks, but we collect them. And guys, I have had $80,000 checks in my hand. When I tell you, that makes me so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is a lot of money. It's a huge responsibility. You have to make sure that you scan it, you show proof that you shipped it and that it's actually inside the envelope and you did ship it, okay? Because if you lose a check, especially from the government, I don't even want to think about all the consequences that or headache that you could face. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be organized and responsible with your paperwork, especially when you're collecting checks, okay? What else? All right, so you are not the lender. Oh, you are an impartial witness. I'm looking at my notes, guys, because I don't want to miss anything. So basically, the notary public, loan signing agent, we don't work directly for the title company. We do not work directly for signing services. That is on purpose, okay? Meaning we are the neutral party. We are nothing but a witness of the whole transaction. Okay, we are there to witness, walk them through the paperwork, verify their IDs, and that is it. Okay, we have no gain and we have nothing to lose in the transaction. All right, so our job, your job, is to facilitate the signing. That's pretty much it. Okay, we're there to help them fill out their paperwork correctly, organize, make sure that it is scanned on time and that it is shipped in a timely manner to them. Okay, now when I first started, I thought that I had to know every single document in the package. I did. I was freaking out. Okay, but the more it got drilled in my head but we don't have to explain anything because we're not lawyers, that gave me so much peace. And like I said, by repetition, you're gonna get better at it. Like, you're gonna see these documents on the daily basis. That's why it's very important to push through your fears. I was nervous, but like I said, the more you do it, once you have done about a dozen, you're gonna feel confident. You know, just triple check your work. I'm not even gonna say double check your work, just triple check it to make sure you didn't miss a signing, a date, anything, you know, that you filled it out correctly. And practice. Use AI, do a mock signing with a loved one, with a friend, you know, and just practice your interaction, you know, with the signers and flipping through the pages, you know, things like that. They make a huge difference. I think I did that with my kids. I practiced, you know, and yeah. The more you do, you get better at it. So I think that pretty much wraps up this video. I want to thank you guys. If you watched it till the end, thank you guys. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to share this with an aspiring loan signing agent that you might know. And stay tuned. And, you know, stay tuned because I will be doing a series of the loan documents, of, you know, just educating you guys of this loan signing agent business. And I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.